Hello again. This episode is going to be a rapid fire of the Great Plains Tour, and I'm not sure exactly what to expect because we do have some stages where Watson can actually do some damage. But he's not going to be the primary leader for most of this tour because most of the stages are sprints and Cedric Rouse is well poised to do well. We're also set to lose time immediately in this prologue, though Watson can thankfully reach this 10 node without a max move, which should somewhat limit how much time we actually lose. We did have to use a max move to reach this 11 though, so it's still set to be 0.4 of a turn as we can only reach the node. 0.38 to be exact, and it's a good thing the next stage is completely flat because that still took most of our attack points. We have the team time trial on stage 3 that I'm hoping Ward will do a little bit better in, but in the meantime, we have a long flat stage. We're definitely headed for a sprint finish, by the way. I don't see this mountain being long enough to cause any serious harm, but we also don't need to be in the relay this early. Now, however, is when we try to earn our keep. This is... I don't know if Abasi's in the best position or if DeLuca is. There's going to be a lot of momentum built up in a hurry, especially if I use Ward to sprint over Martinez. But now I'm not so sure that works because out of those who acted after us, Weber wedged himself in between Abasi and Rao, so Rao might be too far back unless we lead it out ourselves. Or that could happen too. I dare say DeLuca through there unless Gatti further back is going to come over the top of all of us. But let's see what we can do. No one gets over Rao because the rest of the sprinters were too far back. So that's the stage and the green jersey for Rao, and several riders who would otherwise be in GC lost out on that short climb. Ward's up to 5th and Watson's already up to 14th. Next up then is the team time trial. This will mostly be Ward pulling for us. The placement of the uphill technical sector though is such that many of the AI teams are choosing not to go all out right from the start because the furthest GI we can get without you burning a max move is 6 nodes further up, but then we lose 3 from being on the 8 rather than the 11. We're also going to have to use Cedric Rao at least once in this time trial because Ward doesn't quite have enough attack points to go all out for the entire trial. So I think I will join the rest of the field back here. 2 teams are trying to make the jump, but they're the time trial specialist teams. We couldn't realistically compete with them anyway. After all that, this time trial isn't going as well as I would have hoped, but I feel like we should have the staying power to get back past some of these teams towards the end. But then Ward's energy per turn dropped to 7, and yeah, Rao probably needed to take the first pull because then we might have had 8 energy for that final move and been able to secure that tie for 4th. And ultimately, we were only given credit for 8th place on the stage, which feels really disappointing given how strong our lead rider was for that terrain. Anyway, here's another flat stage where they put a short climb right near the finish. I suspect it'll be the same as the last one. Or actually, it might not be that easy because the peloton got dropped. Ward could barely make it, and I can't even see who else is going to make it. Bruno won't. Rao and Watson did make it across, and they didn't have to use their max attack either. I think it might actually be in my best interest to put everyone in the relay and try and block out these riders who aren't committed to the relay early enough. Especially if we get a big lead out from Jonas Winter like this, he's once again doing us a favour. And of course, Ward just goes hard to the line, and Igalskis immediately blows over him. That's still okay. We can start the sprint with Watson. He'll recover all of his attack because his recovery is so high. And Winter didn't sprint. What is Telecom Hahana doing to you? Well, thanks to Winter not sprinting, Rao took the stage win. And meanwhile, I think Ilgauskas' plan was to try and make sure Ward couldn't do anything in the GC because he was our lead rider on time. In fact, I have something else in mind for Ward. We're going to try and get the red jersey. And now we just see, oh, okay, Malik does want the red jersey and he'll take it at the end of the day. But Ward did at least get 2 points from this. And after getting what we wanted out of it, we drop back to the peloton and let that breakaway go to try and contest the stage win if they have the energy. Popovich might have actually pulled this off though. Look at how close he is to the finish line, and this is all the peloton can do. Huh, Bruce Phillips didn't open up. Which means we have to shuffle round again, and I think this time I'll go behind Sean Watson. In any case, Popovich has taken the stage, and maybe DeLuca would have been better. Oh no, never mind, we're good, and in fact... no, it's not worth actually trying to go super hard for a stage that we're not going to win anyway. Deceptively tricky stage, this one, because it's going gradually uphill all the way, and this first climb actually caught out a number of riders who for some reason didn't jump this first mountain when the peloton went to here or here. It was a close call to the finish line between the pack and the breakaway, but the break is going to get caught this time. And now I think for the sake of making sure I know what's going to happen in this sprint, I'm actually going to have Ward come to the front. Unless, of course, I don't even make it to the finish line. And as a result of that, the entire sprint has happened without me. Bruce Phillips takes the win. The problem, naturally, is that because we didn't reach the finish line, we didn't have a chance to build any momentum, so anyone in the relay that was stronger than us could simply go over if they were willing to sacrifice a chance at the sprint themselves. Now, the upside for us is that Sean only finished 4th, so we do just about hold on to the green jersey with Rao, but it's now a lot more congested than I would have liked it to have been. Before this finish, though, we had a lot of nothing burger riding to get through. There was a solo breakaway, but he got leapfrogged when he ran out of energy halfway through. Now the pace is ramping up, though, and Bruno just got dropped. Which is bad news for us. It means we lost control of the peloton, and the peloton has proceeded to give us an awkward move that cancels out Watson's ability to use his mountain, meaning he can't actually make it to this front group, including Torres and Weber. I am, however, going to send Ward up there because I think it's a juicy opportunity for him to claim the red jersey. And in fact, if this is a 7-7 move even for him, I don't think the pack's going to make it. Ward's going to win the stage. As for Herman, I'd rather hang back a bit because at this point I'd rather just make sure Ward wins the stage. And I was trying to get into the largest group possible so I could get some assistance, but it looks like they're leaving it up to me regardless. Nonetheless, I went max move because I knew I wasn't catching Ward, who gets over the line in 27 turns exactly, actually puts himself back into GC contention, and I didn't think there were going to be any points left for Rao over the line, but it looks like there might actually be. There was, but Sean has sprinted over him and he's going to take the green jersey. But I'm liking the breakaway's chances of winning this. But wow, that lead the escape group built up has evaporated very quickly. And Lopez at the front is completely out. And they're making him relay? Come on, you guys had a chance to attack and try and win the stage still. And instead that chance is gone because we're only one node behind with another big move still to come. To shreds, you say. Wait, after all of that, the breakaway actually won? There was no way they were supposed to win, but I suppose the lead out was so bad, Watson decided to sprint for it instead of sending it out further, and we've managed to get over for 3rd. We do take the green jersey, though, as we have the tiebreaker over Sean having won 2 stages prior. Well, actually, GC is the tiebreaker, not stages 1, but we hold that tiebreaker too. As for our GC leader situation, these 2 hilly stages coming after a rest day and a relatively easy week leading up to the rest day plays into Ward's hands because his recovery stat wouldn't normally be high enough to contest a GC, but I think he's going to have a good chance here. Positioning Ward as a GC threat does mean we sacrifice the red jersey for now. Popovich is now on 7 points. He came second on the first climb and won this one. We're approaching the climb that counts now, and we've encountered another potential issue. Ward is already down to 23 energy. I'm not quite sure what happened because Raoul certainly has no shortage of energy, and he is worse in the mountains. Still, it's only a one-turn climb, and we could in theory attack this. Ward still has just enough to make it, but would the time gain really be worthwhile? I have a feeling it's better to just stay with the current pack. I think Rao is going to take this stage win. Watson was out of attack, he couldn't sprint. And it doesn't even matter how much energy we burn in this sprint, because we're getting all of it refunded since we're right on top of the line. So, yeah, go ahead and do that. And we get ourselves the 1-2. We did manage to do some damage in the GC as well. Ilgauskas blew up, so we only have Alfimich ahead of us. Why is Efimovic up so early? Oh, to relay. Why is he relaying when he's the yellow jersey? Well, whatever his rationale, Chris Ward finds himself in that Niels Meyer situation of being only mostly dead, which means slightly alive, which means he will be able to make it to the end of the stage. I thought the relay was going to follow through, and I have to stop and think now, because if I sacrifice Watson and Rao, it's possible that I could either force Efimovic to attack when he's already low on attack points, or just get the drop on him entirely. Oh, there was an attack by someone else. Torres is gone. Well, my positioning still means I get to act last. So for this turn, I am going to be the wheel leech. And then I'll probably relay them across on the final turn if nothing happens. But otherwise, I could in theory actually gain time here because that took all of Efimovic's attack points. But I'm going to do the sporting thing. Since he took that pull, I'll take the last one. And for our efforts, we get given the stage victory. This of course means that our hopes of winning the Great Plains Tour outright with any of our riders is very low now. But we do have the green jersey, 5 stage wins. But anyway, I'm sure you know the drill by now. With the tougher half of the stage being the second half, there is some window of opportunity for splits to happen. And there's been an attack on this climb. Fournier followed by Weber. They only have 62 nodes to go, but they only managed to get a 4-node lead over the peloton. Yeah, see here, Rao is going to be able to claw them back immediately and not even with a max attack. Although, given how slow the rest of the peloton moved, if we'd gone with them, maybe we could have actually gotten away because I would have ridden that harder. And as we get to the stage deciding turn, a lot of these riders are pretty tired, but I've got to imagine at least one of them will open up. I was correct in assuming we have Caruso, Ilgauskas, and Ondrev already, and yeah, that should do it. Unless we get sprinted over. Nah, we got sprinted over. This green jersey competition could yet come down to the last intermediate sprint. I say intermediate because on the last stage it's a hilltop finish, but there are still 2 intermediates there. Oh, interesting attack here from Fournier. I like the idea. He's got less than 100 nodes to go, and the big guns still haven't come to the front yet. It's definitely woken up the pack after a very slow stage to this point. There it is. There's the attack. And Dreve was the one who completed the catch. I had to have Rao take the pull because the peloton were going too slow. I think if I drop both Watson and Ward out, whichever way you slice it, that was a very awkward sprint placement, but it will work out because Watson's all the way back here. He's not going to contest this sprint. We probably won't win it. Yeah, Bruce Phillips gets it. And there's not much I can say about stage 13. It's another pancake, aside from the start, and since we came right at the start, it wasn't even ridden that hard. But anyway, this is looking like a fairly routine sprint. We have the advantage of knowing that Watson will lead it out, so I think being just behind DeLuca is the correct place, and Ward can act as a backstop for Rao. Or our plans can be scuppered because the three behind Watson didn't want to use his lead outs. Well, we can still do this. But it does mean that Caruso's going to get up over everyone, and Phillips is going to win another stage. So it's a good thing he didn't do so much winning in the first half of the tour. Otherwise, he could have been a real threat to our green jersey. In any case, we have wrapped it up. And now it's just a matter of this little tricky finish. Fedor Popovic takes the 3 points, but in any case, he would have won the mountain jersey anyway because Rao did not score on this climb. That's Julian Rao, by the way, not ours. Whoa, interesting move here. Efimovic, without needing to, has decided to break away from the pack, taking a bunch of riders with him, but we're behind him. This could be a mistake on his part. Ultimately, he's going to be alright. He still has 9 attack and an 8-7 move for the final. So now this uphill sprint, actually better for us to be in a somewhat advanced position. So I think this is going to work out for us beautifully. Almost. Well enough at least for Rao to take the stage win. That's all for now, but next episode we begin what may well be the climactic chapter of this Springvale career mode. A lot of monster stages in this Gazmere, and hopefully at the end of it, Herman Watson can become a double Grand Tour champion.